Hey y'all, yeah, I'm on the Zoom call and I hate Zoom. And I just have Zoom fatigue. I just hate Zoom so much. I like what it's capable of doing. But anyway, I'm ready to go out to dinner. I wanted to record this video because a lot came up today about self-care. And I'm not even working this week. I'm doing a residency this week, and I want y'all to type below the different things that you do for self-care. um, because it can include a lot of different things. It's not just going to get your nails done or going out spending money or anything like that. We all know it's a hot bubble bath, or looking yourself in the mirror, doing your positive affirmations, or going for a walk, or just a lot of different things. But one thing that I discovered about self-care, I had an aha moment this week about self-care. And I even mentioned it in my video last week a little bit while I was sitting at my vanity. And this video is not going to be long because we're taking a break from Zoom. There's a speaker that's gonna jump on, and then I'll be done and can go eat. I'm so hungry. But what was I getting ready to say? I lose my train of thought so easy. The aha moment that I had was self-care. I talked about last week about self-soothing, and that's what I like to think about it, because I like to do things that soothe my soul, right? Self-care is something that we should be doing with ourselves every day, that we should be intentional about every single day. Somebody said today that they have to wait till the weekend because they have a busy family. They have like 4 kids. They have to wait till the weekend to do self-care. Now, I don't know. I cringed when she said that, but everybody's scenario and situation and circumstances are different. So I don't want to be judgmental, but we all just started talking about different ways to self-care. So then she saw where she can implement self-care every single day in her life. It doesn't have to be something that takes up a lot of time. Just, how sometimes we have, and I don't let people do this around me at all ever anymore, is say something negative about themselves. Like, oh, I'm so fat, or, oh, I'm so, you don't, so negative self-talk. So if you're doing that, instead of doing that, make yourself start practicing positive self-talk. That doesn't take up any time out your day. You can sit there and do that while you're working. Just have positive thoughts towards yourself. Look in the mirror and give yourself a compliment. And it takes practice if you struggle with self-care, because far too often and people think self-care is selfish. And we need to normalize the fact that self-care is, not only is it not selfish, it's very necessary. You can't give effectively to anybody, your family, your children, your spouse, your friends, if you aren't loving yourself, taking care of yourself. That inner dialogue is positive. If your inner dialogue is negative, then the only thing that you're going to do is spew negative things to other people. If someone's telling you, you're not going to switch all of a sudden and now be this most positive, optimistic person towards somebody else. It all starts from within. And I've talked about self-care before on this channel. I did a whole series on self-care. It just keeps coming back around. I think it's very, very important. And it definitely has to be something that has to happen every day, so that so it becomes a habit, so that it becomes a way of life. That your most important relationship is the one that you have with yourself. You don't need nobody to put you on a pedestal. You got your own self on a pedestal. Your self-confidence is way up to the top. All the way up there. And I'm a very, very, very confident person by nature. I just carry myself that way to the point where people have called me stuck up. They'll assume that I'm stuck up, and it's not the case at all. I'm just naturally confident. However, life has a way of knocking you down a few pegs. Doesn't mean you need to be humbled, or being confident is not nothing you want to aspire to, because it is. It's a way to carry yourself. Not arrogant, not cocky, none of that. Just completely confident in who you are. The skin you're in, you just feel confident in your own skin. That's what I'm talking about. But sometimes life happens, and it happened to me where I lost my sense of confidence. And so I had to nurture myself back to the level of where I was confident again. And Sophia home now, you know how she said on Color Purple, like, Sophia home, like, I'm back. I am just back, and I know how I got back to where I felt confident again, to I felt like I can contribute again, is through self-soothing, self-love, self-care. And when I say contribute, I mean, I was so deflated. I didn't feel like I had nothing. I ain't got nothing to give to nobody. And you have to be honest with yourself when you're feeling like that. If you go through a traumatic situation, you gotta be honest with yourself. You gotta fix that thing. There's nothing wrong with reaching out for help, going to see a therapist, or talking with some friends. If you've gone through a traumatic situation, healing does have to take place. And healing is continual. You don't, and this is just my opinion, I don't think I'll ever get to a point in my life where I'm completely healed and, whoo, I'm healed. I'm good. No, I'm better. Right? Because there's some things you go through that you'll never really fully heal from, but you're better to where now you can contribute. But when you're broken and you're traumatized and you're going through some dark places, you don't have anything to give, nothing positive. And again, the way to get through all of that is you have to nurture yourself back to health. And a lot of times people, because I've seen it, I've even had a talk with people that I used to mentor. One lady, I've mentioned her before too. I don't give names. You guys know that. Was looking for love. Like, usually when you're in that type of situation, or you're not feeling good about yourself, you're feeling inadequate, you're feeling broken, you're hurting, lonely, you will connect yourself to people and expect them, and this is totally going on unconsciously in your mind, you will expect them to fill a void that only you can fill, that only you can heal. And so when the person doesn't meet your expectations, then you guys fall out, and then you want to talk about them and say, they ain't this, they ain't that, they did this, they did that. When you're the one who came to that situationship, that relationship, that friendship broken. And so self-love and self-care and self-soothing, they probably all, I'm just using those words interchangeably. Nobody's responsible for doing that for you. That's an inside job. You have to go within to do that for yourself. And you have to fill yourself up with so much love until your cup will literally be running over. Until now you have nothing to give but joy and peace and love, and be a light and be positive and optimistic. And then you won't want anybody to do that for you. You won't even be looking for anybody to do that for you. You'll be looking for or just connecting with people who you can share. They can share with you in your joy, but they can't give you joy. They can't make you happy. They can't even love you if you don't love yourself. Does that make sense? And so self-care, the practice of self-care, and it is a practice for those of you who struggle with that, loving yourself. It's a daily thing, and it's small little daily things until it just becomes a lifestyle, until it just becomes who you are. Like, I am somebody who just absolutely love myself despite what you think about me. How you feel about me has nothing to do with you. This is all about me. And that sounds kind of cocky, but it's just confidence. What else was I going to say about this topic? Because it's just so important. This is what I think about self-care. You know how COVID is here, it's present, right? And they were saying, like, especially last year, I got a few more minutes, especially last year, in order to build up your, and this is relevant today too, but in order to build up your immune system, you have to, take your vitamins, eat right. There was just a lot of talk on how to get your immune system built up. So just in case you do get COVID, your body would be able to sustain it better. And I think of self-care like that, and self-love. Like, if you are someone who just absolutely is full, I'm getting a phone call, they're going to have to wait, full on the inside, you love yourself, you take care of yourself, inside and outside. And I'm not saying you're going to be perfect, because I'm not perfect, even though I'm the one talking about this, and I have conviction on this. I still have to work on it, right? When you do those things, when situations come up, you can better handle it. A stressful situation might cause you anxiety, but if you are built up from the inside, you won't fall all the way apart like you would if you were not in a good place with your levels of self-love. And I hope I'm making sense. If you meet someone and things don't work out, you really like this person, or this, I'm not even talking about so much romantically, but just in friendships too, or whatever, this job, you really wanted this job and it didn't work out. You like this guy, really didn't work out. You like this girl, really didn't work out. If you are someone who just absolutely loves yourself, you are confident, and you will not fall all the way apart. Will you be disappointed? Yes, but you're not going to fall all the way apart. But if you are someone who is not practicing self-love, you are not someone who loves yourself, you not practicing self-care, and then this situation or this person doesn't work out, you will probably fall all the way apart. Like, you couldn't handle that thing, And marriage is different. Or just long-term relationships. Everybody's different. You're going to fall apart. Life is going to happen. You're going to have situations where you fall apart, right? Where you have to go through a healing process. But I'm thinking that you will bounce back quicker as if your immune system was built up. Because internally, your self-love is built up. Does that make sense? So, yeah. I'm just really, really excited for this growth group that I'm in, because this is what we get to talk about. And I'm on a journey of self-love. I've been on a journey of self-love, and it took me a long time to bounce back from some life circumstances. And life keeps happening. So in the midst of me healing from a breakup, then I had to go through grieving. And the breakup is part, you can go through the same grieving process from a breakup than you will with death. Then I had to go through that. So life keeps happening. So the best thing for all of us to do is to make sure we are healing. Because that process is long and it's continual, because like I said, because things just keep happening. And then you just keep growing, and then you have this aha moment, like, you know what? I'm the most important person that I need to be in a relationship with. My relationship with myself has to come first before anybody else. And then you will just naturally want to do things that soothe your soul. I think you'll make better decisions on what you do with your spare time. You know, like, you know what? That do kind of sound fun, but I'm cool just chilling right here. Or you might want to go do that. Whatever soothes your soul, but make sure you are consciously thinking about your self-care, your self-love, and just soothing your soul. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. I'm gonna tune into the rest of this speaker. He's about to come back on. Actually, he's already back on. And then I'm going to go eat. Talk to you guys later.